Tonight on DC News Now at 9, broken AC units, pest control problems, lighting issues. Hundreds of work orders across DC public schools are not getting done. Tonight, we're exposing the work orders piling up throughout the district.
And the search continues tonight for the driver of a deadly hit and run. A woman hit by a car while crossing a Virginia road. Coming up, we talked to someone who watched in fear as it all happened.
And a Frederick County man's passion for American music history creates a world-class record collection that's inspiring people even after his death.
Good Monday evening, and thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Tasmeen Mahfouz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. It is another soggy night out there. Let's get a check on that forecast with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb.
Yeah, Janessa, it's a DMV first warn night.
Yeah, we're actually watching the leftovers of Hurricane Ian. It's a post-tropical system at this point, but continues to really be offshore. And right now you're seeing the backside moisture impacting eastern counties of the DMV. It's quickly filtering into our western counties, but this has really been prolonged moisture that we saw over the weekend, and it's going to continue, but it becomes more steadier as we go into your overnight, early morning hours. Right now, the bulk of this is starting to move out of the district, so you're starting to see a lull out towards southern areas of the suburbs of the DMV, but quickly making its way into Fairfax, Loudoun County, stretching across I-95. You can see the heavier bands now making its way to Fredericksburg as well, and that will continue to shift more towards the west. Even Montgomery to Prince George's County for the last few hours been watching those bands of moisture really been impacting that area. We're calling this a DMV first warn overnight into your morning, and the reason for that, we're going to start to see rain picking up, and it will really impact your early morning commute. Also, our temperatures, they are taking a significant tumble here. By 7 a.m., we're talking about many spots going to be hovering in the lower to upper 40s. And so that's the broad range. On top of that, we have blustery conditions that we're also watching throughout your Tuesday afternoon. We'll break the exact timing down coming up, guys.
All right, Janessa, thanks. Well, President Biden traveled to Puerto Rico today to survey damage from Hurricane Fiona. Thousands still without power on the island as responders try to clean up the mess the hurricane left behind. Emergency officials and the president say the federal government is doing all they can to help.
Heading to Puerto Rico because they haven't been taken very good care of. We've been trying like hell to catch up from the last hurricane. I want to see the state of affairs today and make sure we push everything we can.
President Biden will head to hard-hit Florida on Wednesday.
And his visit comes as Hurricane Ian's death toll rises to more than 4 dozen. At least 47 deaths confirmed in Florida, 4 in North Carolina, and 3 in Cuba. Rescuers are continuing their search for survivors, and as of Saturday, more than 1,000 people had been rescued from flooded areas all along Florida's coast alone.
All new tonight, from pest control to HVAC systems, there are thousands of open work requests across D.C. public schools. It's a problem, according to city leaders. They say the Department of General Services is moving too slowly. Our Marielle Carbone is live tonight for us in Shaw. Marielle, Banneker High School, where you are, has quite a few issues that need fixing.
Yeah, it does. There's about 50 open work order requests, some of them small things like an outlet that needs to be repaired. Others larger issues like the cooling system in the gym. But other schools, they are a lot worse than this. Tonight, though, parents, they now have a new way to track these issues, and council members hope that'll make a difference.
The expectation as a parent is that the AC and the heat are going to work in the schools.
But Councilmember Robert White says that's not the case in D.C. public schools.
Mounting work orders at school and lingering work orders that have lasted weeks or sometimes years has been an ongoing problem that we've seen.
These photos are from the start of the school year when White toured schools across the district and show flooded rooms and broken HVAC systems. To date, there are still thousands of open work orders across the district. White hopes a new public dashboard will help change that.
No agency wants to see issues linger publicly.
Monday, this website went live. It details every work order open within D.C. public schools. You can search by school or ward, pulling up issues in both, like Roosevelt High School in Ward 4, which has nearly 200 open work orders, from cooling problems to lighting, or Henley Elementary in Ward 8, which has multiple open work orders for pest control.
This is motivation to get them closed even quicker because because people don't want to see a work order that's been open for 2 months, 6 months, 9 months. So hopefully that will change now.
White hopes the transparency helps both teachers and parents understand what's happening in their child's school and better advocate for repairs to happen more quickly. And White also says that this highlights some of the disparity and equity issues within D.C. public schools. He says if you look at wards 7 and 8, some of those school buildings are a lot older, which means they have more issues that need to be addressed. Now, I did reach out to the Department of General Services for comment about this story, but I have not heard back. Reporting live in the district tonight, I'm Marielle Carbone, D.C. News Now.
Mariel, thank you. Developing now, police are investigating a deadly hit and run in the Annandale section of Fairfax County.
Yeah, we're told a woman was hit by a car while trying to cross the street. Police have a lead, but tonight, no sign.
New details about the victim.
That's right. Well, we're not going to share her name. Fairfax County Police haven't released it because they still have not found the victim's family. But as for who this woman was, well, we have learned that she was a woman who frequented the laundromat you can see just over my shoulder. And the woman there who works there describes her as quiet, but always nice and always polite. Now, as far as the crash that killed her, the fatal hit and run, it was around 8 o'clock on Sunday night. Police say a driver was going at a low speed but hit the woman when she was crossing Annandale Road, then did not stop to help her in any way. Now, according to Fairfax County Police, there was a witness who said that they saw a small white, they described it a small white SUV or possibly a sedan. They described it as stopping at the time of the crash, but then driving away. That's really, at this hour, all we know about the investigation. Now, we spoke with Maria Avalar. She was the woman who works at the laundromat I mentioned earlier, and she says she saw the woman laying there on the street.
I feel really bad because I knew her. I saw her Saturday night when I left, and yesterday morning when I came back, she's still here. It's someone, like family member. We spend a lot of time in here. And it hurts knowing that she's not here anymore.
Now, Avalar and a couple other people we spoke with said they really hope that this tragedy kind of ignites some change. They say this is a dark intersection, a dangerous intersection, one without crosswalks. They really hope that this worst of tragedies can hopefully bring about change that will prevent something like this from ever happening again.
Let's hope so. Max, I know Fairfax County just launched a campaign to try to prevent tragedies just like this one.
It did, and it comes as fatal pedestrian crashes have already surpassed the total from last year. It was 10 all of 2021. This was the 14th in 2022. So the Take a Moment campaign that Fairfax County just launched last week really comes at a fitting time. They offered reminders for drivers, for pedestrians, for bikers on how to stay safe. And like I mentioned, they're really hoping that some of those reminders and some of the changes that people like Maria Avalar hope to implement can help kind of buck the trend before it gets any worse.
All right, Max, thank you. And developing tonight, an intruder caught at the Embassy of Pakistan in D.C. The embassy's press secretary confirmed to us that the Secret Service arrested a man in the backyard of a building that belongs to the Pakistani embassy. Now, it happened on Massachusetts Avenue sometime between 3 and 4 o'clock today. We're told no one was inside at that time.
Meanwhile, 2 Secret Service agents will not face charges for killing a man who broke into the Peruvian ambassador's home in Northwest D.C. back in April. Officers were called in for burglary in progress. When they arrived, investigators say 19-year-old Gordon Casey swung a metal pole at them and refused to drop the weapon. That's when agents shot him. The Justice Department says there was not enough evidence to prove the officers used excessive force beyond a reasonable doubt.
And this week marks 20 years since the Beltway sniper attacks in October of 2002. John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo started a 3-week shooting spree that terrorized the D.C. region. 10 people were killed and 3 injured as they were going about their day shopping, getting gas, and mowing the lawn. The snipers were captured at a rest stop in Frederick, Maryland. Muhammad was sentenced to death and executed in 2009. Malvo is currently serving 4 life terms. Now, Virginia denied parole to Malvo this past August, as we first told you, ruling that he's still a risk to the community.
All new tonight, he was well known in Frederick County for his love of music. And tonight, the community is remembering Joe Bassard, who died last week at the age of 86. Bassard leaves behind a rare collection of records built over the span of his life. Our Michaela Newton covers Frederick County and spoke with Bassard's daughter about her father's life and legacy.
Record player, and then this is where he did all his recording.
From jazz to bluegrass, Joe Bassard was a legendary collector of 78 RPM records. 78 record discs are different, and Bassard acquired these collectibles over the span of his lifetime. He died at the age of 86 after battling pancreatic cancer. He even ran his own record label. I talked to his daughter, Susanna Anderson, who says he was a hard worker from the very beginning.
He was 16 when he started collecting, so he collected or played music for 70 years of his life. He started as a teenager, going door to door, and then eventually he went state to state, asking people in homes, flea markets, wherever he could, finding records. And over those 70 years, he amassed around 12 to 15,000 78s.
Frederick native leaves behind thousands of shellac records, and Susanna is tight-lipped on what she now plans on doing with the rare collection.
Can't really say. I know he doesn't want them in a museum or anywhere that they're not going to get played.
Dylan Utz, a friend who looked up to Bassard, calls him a local legend.
There are records that only exist because of him. And that's what I'm inspired by. I'm inspired by the fact that he, in the 50s and 60s, went around knocking on people's doors, saying, do you have any old records? And he saved a lot of music that would have otherwise been destroyed.
Reporting in Frederick, Maryland, Michaela Newton, DC News Now.
And coming up on DC News Now, new surveillance video of the suspects in a deadly shooting of a DC boxing trainer, how it's revealing new clues about the killing.
And we'll introduce you to a new Montgomery County leader who says she's working to bring more affordable housing to the area. You're watching DC News Now at 9, covering the news from where you live, from the nation's capital to West Virginia. Stick around. We'll be right back.